All right, welcome to NTS Wisdom Talk Shows, and we are continuing with the subject of the power of your decision. And today, I'd like to talk about something very, very, very sensitive. I tell you, my name is Sandanya Humphrey Blessings, and decisions are what has produced who we are today, and what will produce whom we are going to be tomorrow. The decisions we've made in the past and the decisions you are making today dictates many things in our lives. There is one decision that majority of you have made before, and it is a terrible decision. And as I speak, I know it is not so palatable, and most of you may not really want to argue it out because you might be a victim in one or the other. And this is the decision to make your first love, the decision to open up for intimate relationship. I know it's irritating sometimes when you walk out here in the street and you see some schoolboys and girls, perhaps 16 years, 17, 18, 19, early campus kids walking around holding hands in the name of this is my lover friends. I love him or her so much. The alpha and the omega of my life, right? That's what you always say. You sort of say, this is the person I would like to marry. And even your age itself cannot allow that. And without long, you develop what we call familiarity. Without long, we develop what we call quick trust, which leads to light romantic moments like cuddles and kisses and all that. And the moment you initiate kisses and all this man of things into a relationship, you're just a few steps away from making love. It's just a matter of time, and you'll eventually give in. There's no principle that can subdue that. So this decision is terrible. You may not want to talk about it because it is becoming a norm. People are just making it anyhowly. People make love anytime, anywhere, with anything they find. They even do what we call homosexuality. They do lesbianism and all this man of things. Because you've chosen that is a good thing. Then what is some of the consequences of you making love with somebody that will not marry you? Many problems you see in your marriages, or rather that will happen in your marriages in the future, will be as a consequence of mistrust. The moment you marry someone that is not your primary love, the person you did not sleep with the first time, then you like it or not, there will be elements of doubt. There will be elements of mistrust. There will be some elements of unsatisfaction. It takes divine intervention. At times, not even divine intervention is not enough. It takes God's intervention for you to host somebody. You did not break their virginity, or you did not take away their virility as a husband or a wife. Chances are they'll just continue messing. There's nothing like I'm born again, or I'm a Christian, or I trust God, or I fear God. I'm a spiritual teacher, and I know exactly what I'm saying. It takes a lot of things for you to marry somebody who is not virgin, somebody who has dated before, and host a happy home. In most of the time, you'll be pretending. If you're not careful, you'll be thinking about your ex. If they hurt you, you remember the happy moments of your past. You like saying, I have forgotten. Trust you me. Your brain, there are things they cannot just forget. And one of the things that you will never forget, if I'm not wrong, is the day you broke your virginity or you took away your virility. Your first intimate day. You'll never forget that. The problem is that is always something like a signature for separation. That's why it's important for you to break these things when you're already married. And because you'll tell me there is no one who is virgin under the sun, they are there, trust you me. But the problem is, They will date people who are not virile, or they are men who have not made sex before, but they'll date women who have played sex enough. That's the unfairness of life. So sometimes you sit down and like, hata nikijichunga sasa si yeye pia ana mess kwenye yuko. That's what drives most of you to action, because you are insecure that your partner might be doing the same. Now you commit yourself to these early toddlers relationships of high school and post form 4. You break your virginity, then you become a sexual monger. Okay, some of you don't even go into sexual activities, but you'll no longer be a virgin or virile. Then you become somebody who has already tested sex. Besides soul ties, there will be a lot of mistrust when you grow up, when you build your family. Many things you do, they will scale down to your generation. They'll scale down to your children. They'll scale down to your grandchildren. Some of you are suffering from the mistakes of your parents and the mistakes of your great grandparents, and you're not aware. But you seem to be so comfortable with life and you don't care. You even don't date anymore for marriage. You date for revenge because somebody hurted you somewhere and you just want to hurt people. Or if not, you say no one can tell. When your day of marriage comes, then you're like, I've only slept with one person to take care of why you're not virgin, or why you're not at this age as a man. Why have you not dated someone? You'll say, I've only dated one person. But the truth of the matter is that you've been to parties, you've been to people's rooms, you've been making love all over, and you are just but a sexual monger, a sexual zombie. I pity you people. It is a sensitive decision anyway. But now, instead of talking about the problem alone, then what are some of the solutions? Because majority of the people have already done this decision and they are not yet married. Some of you even have children. Some of you have aborted. Nobody knows. There's a book that's only you can write. It's called The Secrets of Your Life. And that book can see the light of the day or it may not, because it depends on the volume of content that it needs and how many things you've done that's not right. So at the end of the day, what are some of the solutions that can be addressed when you have already made sex? Because first you can get a husband, even a good wife. You can even do a wedding, but those are not guaranteed. It doesn't guarantee you anything. People have wedding rings and they're still messing. In fact, they mess with the rings on their hands. I don't want to be so negative about this talk. There's a positive bit of it. But first of all, I want you to understand that you are trying to take care of yourself there and your partner is somewhere messing. The question is, should you also mess so that you can be equal? And what if you get yourself into a trap? You're trying to mess and you get yourself into a scandal. What if you contract the diseases? What if you contract the pregnancy? What if you become an early father, early mother? Will you be able to subdue that? So many of you young people, you've rushed to sex early enough. I know people who are desperate, they will always chase you even if you're not virgin. But trust you me, that is not a long-term relationship. They will sleep with you very easily, but they will leave you again very easily. So it's not all about somebody loves me despite of me being this way. Ask yourself, does it really going to lead to a marriage? Many of you quicken things and think that you're right when you're actually very wrong. You're supposed to be eccentrically clear. You're supposed to be neat in your decisions. You're supposed to be excellent in your thinking. Ensure that you don't do things that are not right. But the decision to make sex before marriage is such a bad idea. I'm going to share with you in subsequent audios on this matter, because that's where the problem begins. Everybody can be a good person, except that they become liars. They engage sexually very early in the day, and the rest of their life, they become terrible beings, engaging in these matters without fear and favor, counting number of exes, counting number of disappointments, counting numbers of the things they've gone through, and they end up either regretting or continuing to hurt others. So stay tuned, because I want to show you how best can you become a better version.